questions I can take.
Yes. Thank you, Ganapati ji. Thank you so much for that talk on worrying. There are questions here. So would you like me to read them out to you?
Well, let me try whether I can
read.
see the chat box.
Yes, please.
I can read them. So if you would like to be part of our, so that's, sorry. As a parent, since you are emotionally involved, how do you deal with your children's problems? Yeah. See, this question actually I had addressed in the last talk also. And you have to create an emotional distance. You see, in our Shastras, what it is said is, once your children have grown up, right, treat them as your friends. And you must get out of their life. The problem comes when we try to solve the problem for our children. They have a problem and we think that it is our responsibility to solve it for them. And that is how we get into an emotional involvement with that. So you have to practice that. And as I'm not trying to advertise here, but spirituality helps you in doing that. You have to develop your own personality spiritually. You have to grow spiritually. When you grow more and more spiritually, the emotional aspect of it keeps on coming down. And then you will be able to see everything objectively, not subjectively. Once you are able to see things objectively, whether it is your children, whether it is your neighbor, whether it is anybody, even your spouse for that matter. Once you are able to see the things very clearly, objectively, then your mind will take a back seat, your intellect will take a front seat, and then you will be able to manage these problems. See, in olden days and all, this problem was not there with the parents. It's only in the modern age that we try to be too indulging with the children and we do everything. In fact, we incapacitate them to think on their own and also do things on their own. And children think that we can lead a very happy life and it's my parents' responsibility to look after them. That we should, in Western world, they have done it very, very well. I mean, after a particular age, they tell the child, okay, go and fend for yourself. We are no longer responsible. They have done that. But our culture is still, a lot of people are, bound in this emotional issue. The only thing is you develop yourself spiritually, so you will be able to manage these kind of emotional attachments rather. Can sleeping over a problem bring about a solution when you wake up? But first you must get sleep depending on the intensity of the problem. Yes, very true. Because one of the ill effects of this worrying, which is a consequence of the problem, is you lose sleep. Because even when you go to the bed, switch off the light and everything, the problem keeps on revolving in your mind. Various dimensions keeps on coming, without any solution. But sometimes, as I said, this is where the intuition part comes. Many people, they have actually experienced that once they go to bed with a problem, when they wake up, they have the solution to the problem. Okay? I mean, honestly, to share a personal, experience, whenever I have a problem and I go to the problem to the prayers, when I start praying, at the end of the prayers, many times I have found that the solution has come in my mind. So this is all, these are all intuitive issues rather. So even that problem, the solution appearing in after, when you wake up is also intuitive. Because the way our mind works, our system works, we can't fathom it at all. And if you're serious about solving a problem, you will certainly most likely to get an intuitive solution to the problem. That is true. What you have said is right? Should you worry and find solutions or let the children do it themselves for their own growth?
I think you answered that already.
I've already answered that.
Yeah.
Well, the one more point I would like to point out is, in management, in the management, what is the subject? There is this aspect of delegation of powers, or delegation, put it. Now, what is taught is you must delegate only those things which you cannot do yourself. Or in fact, no, you must delegate those things which others can do, and you must do only those things which only you can do. Okay. Similarly, when it comes to children, if you find that they are not capable of solving a particular problem on their own, for whatever reason, they don't have that experience or this thing, you can step in and advise them. You can try to show them the way. But if you know that they can actually solve the problems by themselves, then you have no role to play at all. Leave it to them and let them solve their own problem, and they will have to learn like that only. If you keep on solving the problem, you are not going to be there ever with the children. What will happen when you go away from this world? Then the children will be really handicapped. So you must allow them to solve their own problems if they are capable of doing that. Then Guruve Sharanam well explained on how to lead a happy life, solving problems, not worry. Sir, though it is known this life is not immortal, but people have to suffer. Why good people have to suffer more and people do wrong things continue to? Very good question, but this question doesn't have an answer here. This question has got a full answer in my talks on law of karma. And that talks of law of karma, I personally feel everybody should understand what this law of karma is, how it operates, and what are all the various facets of this law of karma. Once you understand it from A to Z, then you will not have such questions at all. Whatever we are today, whatever we experience today, a big part is played by our own doing. We are the masters of our own destination. We don't realize it, we don't understand it. That is why the understanding of the law of karma, which is a very unique concept only in our religion, only in our culture. No other culture talks about law of karma. It's a unique concept. Once you understand that, I can tell you, guarantee you, 90% of all your mental worries will be set right. Because why do we worry? Many times you will find that your worry is you are not able to find the cause for a problem, isn't it? Now there is a problem and you want to find the cause of the problem to solve it, but you are not able to find the cause. So you start worrying about it. If you know the cause, then automatically the worry will not enter the scene at all. And what is the cause? Most likely it is all coming from your own karmas. That you have to understand. It's a big topic. In fact, I have a 3-hour talk. I give 3-hour talk on law of karma. It has got that big canvas rather, and I go into a lot of details in that. So if you want that, you have to listen to those talks of law of karma, and which is address your question that why people who are doing well suffer, why people who are not doing well enjoy. It will exactly address that question.
Ganapatiji, there's one question that you missed out, which says, leave your problems to God. How does this help?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't advocate this question of leave your problems to God, because God is not going to come and solve your problems. You have to solve your problems, right? God only gives you the problems based upon your karmas. So you have to solve them with your free will, which God has also given you. So we cannot transfer anything to God. God, only one thing we can do, pray to God. Pray to God that please give me a solution or suggest a solution or make something conducive for me to find a solution for this problem. This you can certainly pray. And power of prayers is there, and prayer is a karma, and prayer is a good karma, and that good karma will give you good results also. So this is the only thing, but you cannot hold God responsible for any of our problems. You cannot hold God responsible for any of our actions. In fact, at the height of the spiritual knowledge, who is God? There is no God. You are God. Aham Brahmasmi is what Vedanta says, Upanishad says. Tat Tvamasi is what Upanishad says. So which God are you talking about? You are the God. You are the maker of your own destiny. So if you understand all these concepts, these are, of course, when I say you are God, you will all be, sort of shocked. What is this guy saying? But that is at a high level of spirituality. You understand all these things. There is a way to understand, and Upanishads say this. Upanishads are Vedas, so Vedas are saying it, they are true. But we just need to understand how they are true, right? It's just like if you tell somebody E is equal to MC square, he won't know what do you mean by E is equal to MC square? E is different, M and C are different, and the square is also different. How can they be equal? But you have to be a Einstein to find out what is E is equal to MC square. Similarly, this Aham Brahmasmi, Tattvamasi and all that, you might have heard these words, but to understand them, you need a lot of knowledge, which you have to seek through this Vedanta. Okay. Any other question I have left out?
No, I don't think so. I think there's a message for you.
That is come in Tamil also.
In Tamil, yeah.
Works well for me. Okay, good. If that works very well and good.
Okay, thank you.
For our own selves, how we have to. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. And we really appreciate this, the 5 stages that you talked to us about worry. Now we actually know where we are in those stages when the worry is there. So we know how to deal with that. Also, thank you for, telling us that we need to work on the problem and not worry about it. And we should move from problem-oriented thinking to solution-oriented thinking. So I think we got a lot out of this talk that you gave us. And I think the most important thing is that we are the controllers of our mind and intellect. And that is really what we need to use effectively if we want to stay out of this worrying stage.
Yes.
And there is no need to worry. So thank you so much for being with us. And let me just tell everybody what is coming up in the next few sessions. We look forward to your presence every week on Tuesdays and Fridays, where we bring to you interesting topics on holistic wellness and the arts, delivered by a host of distinguished, knowledgeable speakers. Please join us for a special program on Tuesday, 29th September at 7 p.m. We have Mrs. Eva Maran, who's an Estonian national, and she's now part owner of Chaga Limited. She'll be talking to us on mushrooms and their role in our nutrition, and that they are great immunity boosters. So please join us for that talk on Tuesday, 29th September. Sunday, as usual, we have our yoga session with Umesh Dagachi at 7 a.m. We'll be posting our programs on the groups and by email as usual. Thank you again for your presence, and thank you again, Ganpati ji, for being here. Thank you, everybody, for participating today. And with that, we conclude today's session. Thank you and namaste.